right, welcome back to the garden. Thank you for joining me at Pearls of Eden. And today we're doing an update, you all. You all know a couple of weeks ago I did a video about electroculture gardening. And yes, I am seeing a great amount of growth. And I'm excited to show it to you all. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I did do a couple of shorts just to give you some progress updates on how everything's going. And I am seeing a lot of growth. I went to my nursery this morning to pick up some more pollinating type of flowers just to help continue to beautify and bring in hummingbirds and butterflies. So I've got a couple of lantanas that I'm going to fill into the garden, and I'm also going to put a couple of herbs, dill plants, to mix in with my other herbs. And that's going to be pretty much it. And then I'll show you the progress that we've made so far. So let's go. So this is our local nursery in town, which I love it. They have the best deals, a beautiful assortment of all kinds of flowers and herbs. I got a glimpse of the sky because I just thought it was so fantastic. But I picked up these two beauties. These are called Mandeville plants and they're gorgeous. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to repot them. I've got soil always lying around, so I'm just using the rest of this. And then I will put some peat moss and mix topsoil with it. And then I'll put the Mandeville plant inside of it. So, you know, it's important that you make sure you have your soil nutrient dense and that it's rich so that it helps your plant to be the best that it can be. So I'm taking the Mandeville out and I'm putting it into the pot, and then I'll begin just to layer it with the different types of soil. Here is peat moss, like I said. I'm going to put a little bit of that in it to just enrich the soil. And I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I use gloves most of the time, but sometimes I just want to get my hands into the dirt because I believe it's healthy, it's beneficial. Now this is a proven winner, patina. No, not patina, but petunia. Okay, petunia. And these are beautiful. They develop so wonderful throughout the season, and they're long lasting, and they just have that additional pop of color that's going to make the plant just stand out. So again, those are proven winners, and they are the Supertunias. And this is Creeping Jenny. I love Creeping Jenny to layer most anything with it. And it's going to just trellis the plant. And it's so cute and pretty. And it didn't take me but maybe 15-20 minutes to do this, you all. And voila. So I'll go on and I'll do the next plant the same way. And you can take a look. So again, here are the Creeping Jenny and the Supertunias by Proven Winner. Proven Winner is an amazing brand. Their plants stand the test. They cost a little bit more, but they perform very well. So yeah, if you're interested and you see them in your garden center, definitely take a chance on them because they perform. They are high performers. So yeah, I'm just layering it in there, making sure it's secure in the pot. Then I'm going to layer it with another Creeping Jenny. These are so pretty. I love Creeping Jenny. And Creeping Jenny is a perennial, so it will come back. The Supertunias are annuals, so unfortunately they are just seasonal. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I get so excited about planting and gardening. It is just, I love it. It's just the breath of fresh air, making things beautiful. It just recharges me. So I'm done with that, and I'm just going to slide it back in its space and move on about my day. I can clean up later, right? So today's word for our garden meditation, I want to talk to you about waiting. And I know waiting can be so hard to do. This is why we have to ask the Lord to give us the grace to be still and to wait on Him. Because when we do things in our time, we can rush the process. We can be in places and we can be doing things we have no business doing, and we wonder why we don't have the success that we want because we are out of order. We have to slow down, trust God's process, and know that when we've asked Him something, sometimes He answers immediately, and then sometimes we've got to wait. And that's the hard part, right? So let's talk about it. Waiting is easier said than done, right? And waiting on God can be particularly difficult. Sometimes his answers are immediate, and sometimes he takes his time. Sometimes he allows us to go through a process. We have no control over his timing. We just have to wait until he makes his move. In Habakkuk 1, we find a prophet who desperately needed to hear from God. He saw the destruction of Judah and called on God for help. Initially, it looked like God wasn't answering or even hearing from him, but Habakkuk kept seeking his direction. Has there been anything in your life that you have seriously, and I mean seriously, prayed for and sought God for, but you haven't gotten an answer yet? That can be really difficult, right? Well, in this text, Habakkuk asks God two very relevant questions: how long and why? He asks, how long am I supposed to call for help before you answer me? How long am I supposed to put up with these wicked people? Now, to my ladies, you might find yourself asking the same question. Why am I single? Will I ever financially be stable? Will my kids ever listen to me? All of these things may be questions you ponder. How do we handle it when it feels like God is taking too long? Sometimes we give up, and sometimes we settle for less. Sometimes we even take matters into our own hands. And when we do any of these things, we disqualify ourselves from receiving the real blessing that He has in store for us. We've got to learn to be still and trust God's plan and His timing. God knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows what we're prepared for, and guess what? He knows when we are not prepared. He knows the areas where we need more development, where we need more growth, and He knows the areas that need a little more discipline. Yeah, I said discipline. So it really behooves us to wait, because if we wait on God, He will always make sure that all of the pieces are perfectly joined together, and it's going to be well worth the wait. So I just want to encourage you, don't rush the process. Enjoy the journey. And that's what I have to teach myself, to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the process, because in the process, God is teaching us all kinds of wonderful things that only will make us better. So I hope that these garden meditations help you to think and help you to be inspired to just trust God, depend on Him, lean on Him, acknowledge Him in all of your ways, and He will direct your path. It's a beautiful thing to trust God, right? But it's not always easy. So what I'm doing right here, you all, I'm just continuing to plant the dill and the lantina in different various spots. And so they will just kind of spring up and add some depth and color to the vegetable garden. As you see, everything is just growing so beautifully. And I'm telling you, the electroculture, the simple thing of connecting a copper to a stick, who knew that it could harness such beautiful energy from the earth and cause everything to grow so abundantly? And it's also making the soil richer and darker and just more nutrient dense. And it's only been 2 weeks and I've seen such a great difference. You all can go back and look at the video that I posted 2 weeks ago. This is a major difference, you all. So I encourage you. This is why I love walking with the Father. He teaches you new things. He introduces you to the ancient paths. He shows and connects you to people who understand wisdom and knowledge that helps you to be better, so you don't have to walk around the desert, the wilderness for 40 years. If you are just willing to submit yourself and listen and be teachable, God can show us the better path in everything, in every way. So I'm really enjoying all of the success that I'm having so far with the electroculture gardening. It works. So now back to today's lesson. When we want to think more about why was God delaying his answer? Well, in 2 Kings we find out it was because Judah, God's people, they had a wicked king that caused them to sin, and God had to bring correction to Judah for their wrongdoing. You know, the Bible tells us that God chastises those who he loves, because like a good parent, he doesn't want us to keep going in the wrong direction that ultimately would cause us to be destroyed. So in his mercy, in his goodness, he corrects us. So the prophet, even when he got the answer that he so waited so long for it, and he really, wasn't looking to get that answer. It wasn't the answer that he ultimately wanted. He understood that all things were going to work together for the good of God's people, even when God himself has to chastise. So even though the prophet wasn't seeing God respond in the way and in the timing that he expected, God was still speaking and God was still moving. So we just have to be receptive to God's voice. The correction, the good, the bad, like Job said, can I take the good of the Lord, but then refuse when calamity comes, when bad comes? Do I start, refusing and rebuking God because now I'm having to be challenged in this experience that we call life? No, we understand that everything is a teachable moment. So anyways, you all, that's the meditation for today. Again, here are all of the updates, all of the growth of the plants from the deck. They're just so lush and so green. Everything's developing and growing so beautiful, and I'm so grateful. And I hope this inspires you even to start your own garden. Like I said, you don't have to go all out. You can just start with container gardening, get you some herbs and plant them and care for them, and maybe it'll inspire you to do something more. So again, you all, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's free. Subscribe, support the channel, and I'll see you very soon, God willing. I love you all. Bye.